Emily and Jack, two college students, were returning from a weekend camping trip. It had been 2 days of fun in nature, but now it was late at night and they were heading back home. To save time, Jack suggested they take a shortcut through a narrow forest road in Maine. The road was darker than they had expected and a thick fog blanketed the area. The car's headlights barely illuminated a few feet ahead. Emily, who was always a bit anxious, looked around nervously and said, "This road is so creepy. Maybe we should have stayed on the main highway." Jack smiled confidently and replied, "Relax. Just a few more miles and we'll be back on the main road." But moments later, the car made a strange noise and suddenly stopped. Jack cursed under his breath as he stepped out to check the engine. With a flashlight in hand, he examined the car and said in frustration, "Damn it. I think we're stuck." Emily, now visibly scared, asked, "What do we do now? There's no signal to call for help." After a moment of silence, Jack noticed a faint light shining through the trees. "Look, there's a house over there. Maybe we can get some help." They made their way through the trees toward the light. As they got closer, they saw an old rundown cabin. The windows were broken and the front door was slightly ajar. Jack whispered, "Maybe someone lives here. Let's just stay the night and leave in the morning." Inside the cabin, everything was old and covered in dust. A half-burned candle on a table cast a dim glow across the room. The walls were decorated with old black and white photos, and a large axe lay in the corner of the room, catching Emily's attention. "This place gives me the creeps," Emily said, sitting on a wooden chair. "We shouldn't stay here." Suddenly, faint footsteps echoed from above. The two froze and looked at each other. Jack forced a nervous smile and said, "Probably just the wind." But the footsteps grew louder, as if someone was slowly moving across the upper floor. Jack grabbed his flashlight and headed toward the stairs. The upstairs room was small, with a rotting bed and a wooden desk. On the desk lay an old leather-bound diary. Jack picked it up and began to read. October 22, 1987. "This is the last time I'll write here. He's still here. I couldn't escape. If anyone finds this, leave this place before it's too late." Suddenly, the sound of the front door slamming shut echoed through the cabin. Emily screamed from downstairs, "Jack. Someone's here." Jack rushed downstairs to find Emily frozen in fear. Standing in the doorway was a tall man wearing a leather mask and holding a massive axe. He said nothing, just stared at them with cold, piercing eyes. With a deep, raspy voice, the man finally spoke. "This is my house. What are you doing here?" Emily stammered, "Our car broke down, we didn't mean to intrude." The man took a slow step forward and growled, "You shouldn't have come here. There's only one way out and it's under my axe." Jack grabbed Emily's hand and they bolted out of the cabin, running into the dark woods. The man followed, his heavy footsteps crunching the forest floor. Emily, panting and crying, said, "We can't outrun him. He's too fast." As they ran, they came to a river. Jack turned to Emily and said, "Let's cross it. Maybe we can lose him." They waded through the icy water, shivering and stumbling as they tried to get to the other side. The killer's silhouette loomed in the distance, still following their every move. After what felt like hours of running, they stumbled onto a small gas station by the roadside. They rushed inside and frantically told the gas station attendant about the man chasing them. The old man listened carefully and then said with a puzzled look, "That cabin. No one lives there. It burned down 30 years ago." Emily and Jack eventually made it back to town, trying to forget the horrifying night. But a week later, an anonymous package was left at their doorstep. Inside was nothing but a bloodied axe. "If you'd like to expand any specific part or add more details, let me know.